Night fell over the western mountains, and Orio, the city that never sleeps, shimmered under the starry sky. Magical lamps illuminated the streets, reflecting off the stone walls and mingling with the lively voices that echoed through the alleys. The war of the games had ended, and the victory of the Hestia Familia was the talk of the town. For the first time in a long time, the impossible had happened. The avenues were filled with laughter and applause. In the taverns, the sound of clinking mugs mixed with improvised songs. At the heart of the celebration, the harvest goddess was buzzing with energy. There, the small but now legendary Hestia Familia celebrated their victory over the dreaded Freya Familia. Hestia, more animated than ever, led the toast with a smile that charmed even the most reserved. The adventurers celebrated without a thought for tomorrow. Mord, completely drunk, shouted that they had defeated the gods of the top, eliciting laughter from everyone around him. The gold one flowed like wine on the tables. No one wanted to talk about strategy, only to savor the relief of being alive. Amidst the noise and laughter, Bel Crannel observed everything with a discreet smile. The young hero still felt the weight of the recent battles, but there was a rare serenity in his gaze. Rufus, an elf with a tranquil countenance, offered him a glass of water, and Bel accepted with gratitude. He didn't need alcohol to feel intoxicated. It was enough to look around and see his companions, each with a gleam of victory in their eyes. The tavern was a living painting. Tables covered with lavish dishes, warriors with armor still stained with blood, gods and mortals celebrating side by side. Even the differences between families seemed to disappear that night. Uka and Chigusa recalled the decisive moments of the war, while Naza laughed shyly as she recounted that she had reached level 3. Each story was proof of overcoming, and each scar a reminder that winning had come at a high price. Bel listened to everything in silence. He knew he hadn't fought alone. That victory wasn't his alone, but everyone's. Welf's, who forged weapons to the limit. Heraheim's, who fought despite her fear. Lily's, who faced the chaos with cunning. And, of course, Hestia's, whose faith never wavered. The gods Hephaestus and Takamikazuchi approached to greet the young adventurer. Their words were simple, but full of respect. Bel, as always, responded with humility. He didn't see himself as a hero, only as someone who didn't give up when everyone said it was impossible. Still, not all faces were joyful. 4 dwarves, former members of the Freya Familia, now worked as waiters, serving those they once called enemies. They carried heavy trays with expressions of wounded pride. Bel observed them with empathy. There was no anger in his heart, only the awareness that war always exacts a price, on one side or the other. As the music echoed and the glasses were raised, Bel thought of those who weren't there. Ina, ever protective, couldn't attend because of her duty to the guild. Hermes and his family had only sent a congratulatory note. And Aze, just her name brought a brief smile to the young man's face. Knowing that she had cheered for him was enough. The party went on for hours. The laughter began to subside, the songs became softer, and the noise gave way to a sense of calm. Some slept at the tables. Others just looked around, trying to believe that the war was truly over. Hestia, moved, raised one last glass and declared that this victory was only the beginning of a new era. Bel remained silent, observing his companions. This was his family, imperfect, noisy, but true. The hero stood up and walked to the window. Outside, Orio shone under the moonlight, beautiful and full of promise. He knew that new challenges would come, but, for the first time, there was no fear. He took a deep breath and smiled. The war was over, but his heart continued to beat strongly. And while the city slept, lulled by laughter and dreams, Bel Crannel understood something simple and powerful. Greatness lies not in defeating gods, but in remaining standing, with courage, even after the battle. As the first rays of sunlight touched the rooftops of Orio, the glow of the magic lamps slowly faded, giving way to the light of the new day. The streets, once filled with festivities, now slept in silence, lulled by the rare feeling of hope. That dawn, Bel understood that the true strength of an adventurer did not come from glory or power, but from the courage to start again, even after winning. The battlefield was behind them, but the journey continued, And as long as there was a dream to follow, the heart of the Hestia Familia would never stop beating.